Today on Cravings, I'm taking you all the way over to the other side of our beautiful country to Vancouver Island for my very first collaboration. In YouTube lingo, we call it a collab because collaboration is just so not cool. But today I'm excited because I'm going to be trying my friend Lyndsay Wells, the kitchen witch, her recipe for Rosemary Chicken Lasagna. Lyndsay and I have never met, but we are soul sisters. We have so much in common. We both were finalists on the hit show Recipe to Riches. We both started off as food bloggers, and we both run our own YouTube channels and have a deep passion for food. So this collab was a no-brainer. Today we're switching recipes, and I'm going to do my best to channel my inner kitchen witch. Hey Lyndsay, I'm ready to get started. Are you ready for our first collab together?
I sure am, Karen, and I'm so glad you chose this recipe. It's a real crowd pleaser and perfect for entertaining because you can put all the layers together in advance.
You look really busy over there. What are you making?
Your incredible recipe for easy Thai chicken soup. And Karen, I have to tell you, my kitchen smells so fragrant.
That sounds really delicious. If you need any help, I'm just a holler away. But for now, I'm going to get started on your recipe for rosemary chicken lasagna. I'm going to start by butterflying my chicken breast. Now, just a note on the chicken breast, you need anywhere from 1 to 2 chicken breasts. It should be about a pound of meat. Now, we all know that chicken breasts are different sizes in India, for example, versus Canada. So I've measured this for you. Just use a pound of chicken breast and you're good to go. It's so easy to butterfly a chicken breast. All you need to do is first trim the chicken tenders off the chicken breast, remove any excess fat, and then just tap the thickest part of the chicken breast and just go right in with your knife horizontally. Once you have your chicken breast in 2 sections, you're ready to chop it up into smaller pieces. Hey Kitchen Witch, you can use turkey as well, right?
Or you can also substitute in ground chicken or ground turkey, or you can omit the meat altogether and make it vegetarian by getting creative with different varieties of mushrooms.
In a large saute pan, I'm going to heat up about 1 tablespoon of olive oil and I'm going to saute my chicken breast. I'm going to make sure it's brown on both sides and I'm simply going to add a little bit of salt and some white pepper. Once it's sauteed all the way through on both sides, I'm going to take it out and leave it in a plate to cool. In the same pan, and I love one-pan dishes, I'm going to saute half a red onion that I chopped really fine and 8 cloves of garlic. Everything is better with garlic. Next, I'm going to add 8 ounces of mushrooms that I've sliced, and I'm going to leave that to cook for a little bit. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of rosemary. Now, rosemary is incredibly strong, and 1 tablespoon is all that you need. Once the mushrooms have cooked down a little bit, I'm going to add some kale. I've got a cup of kale and a cup of spinach. Now, thank you, Lyndsay, for introducing kale and spinach into this recipe. It's a great way to sneak some really good nutrition into the lasagna.
I totally agree, Karen, and I have to tell you, I'm a cook who loves my greens, not just for the vibrancy and color that they bring to dishes, but like you said, for the nutrition as well.
Lyndsay's recipe calls for baby kale and baby spinach, but I already buy kale for other recipes, so I'm simply going to use regular kale. It's okay to use. In fact, it gives a lovely crunch to your lasagna, but I'm going to caution you to remove the center rib of the kale because it can be rather tough. So once you remove that center kale, you can just break it up with your fingers into little pieces, and all of that goes straight into the pan. Again, I'm going to season it with some salt and some pepper. And I know Lyndsay likes to add a dash of sherry, but I'm going to add a little bit of chicken stock instead. Now that's just going to give the mixture a little bit of moisture. Once that's cooked, I'm going to add the chicken back into the pan and then I'm going to simply just leave it aside. Next, we're going to work on the bechamel, and this is my favorite part. I'm simply going to add 4 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to heat it up. Once that's melted, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of flour. Fat and flour make a beautiful roux. Stir it together, make sure there are no lumps. Now I'm going to add 5 cups of cold milk, just a little bit at a time, and stirring frequently to thicken up my bechamel. Now, it's a good idea to always add cold liquid to a hot roux or hot liquid to a cold roux. This prevents lumps from forming. You're going to need to stir your bechamel for quite a while to make sure it thickens up. So just keep stirring, and towards the end, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of Gruyere cheese, as well as some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of nutmeg. And your bechamel is ready. Take it off the heat and keep it aside. Hey Lyndsay, if you don't have Gruyere cheese, what kind of cheese can you substitute?
I'm actually a bit of a Gruyere fanatic, but that's because it lends itself so well to a bechamel sauce. Not to mention in a recipe like this that's so woodsy with the rosemary and the mushrooms, it just seems to complement all that perfectly. But in a pinch, you could easily substitute a Comté or a Beaufort, or even a nice sturdy, reliable Swiss.
And now for the fun part, I've got an oven dish that I've greased with some butter, and I'm simply going to pour a little bit of bechamel at the bottom of my pan just to act as a glue, and I'm going to put in my fresh lasagna sheets on top of the bechamel. Now you might need to trim your sheets to fit your pan. Next, I'm going to add a cup of ricotta cheese, and the ricotta I'm just going to spread all over the pan. I'm going to follow that with half of my chicken mixture. Now remember, we made this chicken mixture with kale and spinach and mushrooms and onions and garlic and rosemary, and it's so fragrant. I'm going to put half of that mixture right on top of the ricotta, and then I'm going to go over that with mozzarella. I've got about a cup of mozzarella and 1/4 cup each of Gruyere cheese and Parmesan. And now I'm going to add more bechamel sauce. It's a good thing that I made 5 cups of bechamel. I'm going to pour that over the cheese, and then I'm going to add another layer of lasagna sheets. Now I'm going to cut it again, put them in, add some more ricotta, and I'm going to follow that with the final half mixture that I kept aside of the kale and spinach and chicken and mushrooms. I'm going to add all of that together. And then I'm going to reverse the order. I'm going to add more bechamel on top of that mixture. I'm going to just make sure that I've covered all of those lasagna sheets because I want to make sure the lasagna cooks really well in the oven. And finally, at the end, another cup of grated mozzarella and another 1/4 cup each of Gruyere cheese and Parmesan. And just like that, it's ready. It's going to go in a 350-degree oven for about 30 to 40 minutes, or till you see the cheese on the top that's bubbling and has turned a beautiful shade of golden brown. And the verdict is in. Everybody in my household gives this recipe a big thumbs up. Thank you so much, Lyndsay from Vancouver Island, for joining me in my kitchen today and helping me make your fantastic recipe.
Me too, Karen. This has been so much fun, and I want you to know how much I value your friendship. Galen Weston brought us together, but he doesn't know how much he gave up. Bye for now, my friend.
Please go over to Lyndsay's channel. I have the links all over this video. Please visit her channel. She has lots of videos. Also visit my channel at youtube.com/cravingsblog. I would love to see you there. I would love your feedback. Until I see you again, take care. Bye.